A strike at a local hospital enters a new chapter. What this means for nurses on the picket line.
A local land bank demolishing an abandoned apartment complex, how it's funding the blight elimination project.
And economists warn of higher grocery prices this holiday season, what they have to say about food inflation.
Thanks for joining us live this morning and tuning in for TV5 Morning Extra. I'm Christine Winter.
And I'm Lauren Piesco. First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro has a check of our Thursday morning forecast. Matthew, how's it looking outside?
Yeah, Lauren, Christine, this Thursday shaping up very nicely for us here. It's just been cold, but we do have a nice clear sky, and the wind has slowed down pretty significantly too. This morning with the clear skies, just about 20 degrees colder than the same time yesterday, so that puts us in the upper 20s to low 30s. We will be back to about 49 to 50 for the afternoon today. Actually, it looks pretty nice for the afternoon bus stops. Partly cloudy, not expecting rainfall for this Thursday. And just a note on that wind too, we expect it to stay light for the entirety of today, just about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But we are still first alerting you to some rain tomorrow morning, and then we do have a chance of both rain and snow as we go into the upcoming weekends. We'll take the latest look at the weekend, but also tomorrow morning's rain coming up a little bit later. Lauren, Christine, back to you.
Well, if you plan on flying somewhere tomorrow, some experts suggest making backup plans. The FAA says it will cut about 10% of flights at 40 major airports starting tomorrow, including DTW in Detroit. That's due to air traffic controller shortages from the government shutdown. Now airlines are scrambling to adjust their schedules. The CEO of Frontier Airlines warns some passengers could become stranded. And hospital leaders at Henry Ford Genesis in Grambling Township now reporting contract discussions with the Teamsters Union are at a standstill, but the union leaders disagree. With that impasse declared, the hospital says it's implementing its own proposed contract despite objections from the union.
It's unlawful under the terms of bargaining. It's also, I believe, a scare tactic to try to convince the RNs that there is no more bargaining and trying to push them back into the hospital, which this group is not going to budge a bit on that.
The contract includes an average pay increase for registered nurses at Genesis of 5.3% in the first year, with annual increases. And the hospital says it will include the same nurse-to-patient ratios from previous contracts and will continue to meet with the Teamsters in hopes of reaching an agreed-upon contract.
Abandoned and burned, a blight on one mid-Michigan community is finally coming down. The Genesee County Land Bank Authority announcing that later this morning it will begin demolishing the Westwood Manor apartments, and those are on Clio Road in Mount Morris Township. It was the scene of this fire back in 2017, and it's part of the Land Bank's ongoing blight elimination campaign using $350,000 in ARPA funds from the Genesee County Board of Commissioners and $410,000 from the Genesee County Treasurer's Office to clear properties for new investments and opportunities. Now that demolition is scheduled to start at 9.
A massive boost from the state for Miller Industries in Fenton. It's getting $43 million from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation to build a 270,000 square foot building. The company specializes in modular building systems like chiller plants, boiler systems, and custom steel fabrication. The new investment is expected to create about 167 jobs with a starting wage of $25 an hour plus benefits.
Mott Community College in Flint broke ground on renovations for the Marie R. Prowl College Center, something the school says is an historic moment.
This is not simply a structure of steel and glass. This is a new facility that will be a powerful engine to support the extraordinary student experiences that we are creating here at Mott Community College.
And this is a project 7 years in the making. You can see that ceremony yesterday. Now this will feature virtual reality simulation labs, modern architecture, and also will be home to many student services. All right, it is the busy season for auto body shops across mid-Michigan.
Here with more on what's driving the rise in work for repair businesses, TV5's Maggie Castraba joins us live in the studio with the details.
Lauren, Christine, drivers are at a higher risk of crashes this time of year, with slick roads, fog, and fewer daylight hours adding to the danger. And it's not just the weather, there is also a high level of deer activity. According to AAA, from October to December, deer are on the move, migrating and mating, making them less cautious and more likely to run into the road. The Auto Club recommends staying alert, especially during dawn and dusk when deer are most active. And if a deer crosses your path, hit your brakes and stay in your lane. Swerving can endanger yourself and other drivers, not to mention costly as well, with some repairs on newer cars taking longer than others. AAA also went on to add, if you do get into a collision with a deer, don't approach it. Instead, take pictures of the scene and contact the police as soon as possible. Christine, Lauren, back to you.
All right, as the federal government shutdown drags on, people who depend on SNAP food benefits are caught in the middle.
Yeah, the benefits are expected to start back up for some after a brief pause, but at a reduced rate. At I Support the 1% Veteran Food Pantry, shelves stay stocked, but only for so long. Pantry Director Judy Adams says about 75% of veterans the Frankenmuth-based pantry serves depend on SNAP to get them through the month.
We have many veterans with young kids, and it's bad enough for a single veteran, but also ones with kids, it's a lot more mouths to feed.
In Washington, D.C., U.S. Senate leaders appear optimistic that a deal on a mini package could come this week. But until lawmakers come to an agreement, local food pantries are left bracing for more need and fewer resources. Now, the pantry will be hosting 5 food drives with several community partners in the next couple of weeks.
Nearly 5 million food stamp recipients will not receive any benefits this month under a plan issued by the Trump administration to comply with a court order. The Department of Agriculture said on Monday it would issue partial benefits by tapping into SNAP's contingency fund after 2 federal judges say the agency was required to do so.
But some families receiving assistance make too much money to receive the partial benefits, and that's according to a new analysis from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. The courts also gave the USDA the option of shifting other money to SNAP to enable it to pay full benefits in November, but the agency said no, citing risks to other nutrition programs. With that reduction in SNAP benefits, Isabella County's iRide is offering free rides to and from the Isabella Community Soup Kitchen and area food banks for anyone in need. Now, that service is available during normal soup kitchen and food bank operating hours. It will continue while SNAP benefits are suspended or until available program funding is exhausted. To schedule a ride, you can call iRide at 989-772-9441. A warning from the Tuscola County Sheriff's Office on kratom. The office says it's extremely dangerous and addictive. The drug is sold over the counter in smoke shops, gas stations, and online, and it's often marketed as a natural alternative for pain management, opioid withdrawal, or for increased energy. The Sheriff's Office says kratom brings an increased risk of accidental death. It has no use approved by the FDA. Well, you are joining us live right now for TV5 News Extra.
Still ahead, a university president talks enrollment numbers. We have a recap of Central Michigan's State of the University.
And a first-of-its-kind project planned for Michigan. What we're learning about a new data center potentially coming to Lansing.
Miss a story? Catch up on our YouTube channel. And for the latest updates, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Matthew will have your first alert forecast coming up next after the break.
Going into this Thursday, tracking a nice fall day ahead of us with dry weather, just increasing cloud coverage after a sunny morning. We are expecting temps to reach up to about 49 to 50 for this afternoon. So today, these temps actually right near average for this time of year. Our wind much lighter too, at just 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, as we go into tonight, we are tracking some rain that eventually moves in just ahead of a cold front. And that should arrive at about 3 or 4 in the morning. It'll be here during the morning drive and bus stops on Friday morning. So I do want to give you that first alert to some wet weather starting the day. By about 9 or 10 in the morning, the rain will be out of here. The afternoon far drier than the morning, and even during the afternoon, the dry slot could usher in just a brief period of some sunshine before clouds return on Friday night. And rain totals here expected to range from about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch with Friday morning's rain. Now for the weekend, we really haven't had to change much with the forecast here at all. We are still tracking some snow showers that start up as we go into Saturday night, and some of those snow showers still around on Sunday morning, and it is very possible that we end up seeing just a light coating of some fresh measurable snowfall on some elevated surfaces like cars or patio furniture, really anything that you have outdoors that's elevated. However, one thing that is still uncertain, and more so I'd still say unlikely too, is the fact that we really are not expecting to see any sort of significant accumulation of snow directly on the ground or on roadways too, because the ground temperatures are still in the mid to upper 40s. It's very warm. Our snowfall rates likely are going to struggle to be able to overcome that. So I don't think you'll really need to shovel or snow blow the sidewalk or the driveway by Sunday. But for Saturday, we do expect a dry day, just mostly cloudy. We'll see that system moving in on Saturday night, rain turning over into snow showers, and that's still going on even into Sunday morning. And then by Sunday afternoon, back to a little bit of a wintry mix or even just some rain as temps go into the upper 30s on Sunday afternoon. And then once we go into Sunday night, we'll really see temps falling down to the mid-20s. So if anything, I do want to first alert you to some cold weather following up some of those snow showers this weekend. So Monday and Tuesday mornings, both of those days, the wind chills will be in the teens as we get the day started. This is a bit conditional, but anything that's damp and untreated going into Sunday night could possibly see some refreezing as well. First Alert 7-day forecast does have a fairly quiet but cold start to next week. Take a look at those temps. 35 for the high on Sunday. But after that cold start to the week, we'll see temps back to the mid-40s by Wednesday.
All right, Matthew, thank you. In a new consumer alert, expect your Thanksgiving dinner to cost a little more. Economists at Michigan State University say the uptick in food inflation is a result of labor and supply constraints in certain industries and higher import prices due to tariffs. They say grocery prices are 2.7% higher than a year ago and remain more than 25% higher than 5 years ago. The USDA projects the average turkey to cost you $1.32 per pound, up 40% over last year when it was nearly 94 cents. A roast dinner will cost you 18% more than last year. However, get this, domestic wine prices are down about 1.2% from last year.
A UK-based data center company has selected Lansing as its site for its first location in the U.S., and it's also a first-of-its-kind project in the U.S. The company's Deep Green's proposed data center would be built on a 2.7-acre vacant parking lot in the Stadium District. And city leaders say that data center would generate heat to be used by the Lansing Board of Water and Light for free, which would in return power the facility through its existing grid. That could mean decreased rates for utility customers in the future. If the plans are approved, construction could start next year.
Over those 13 years, CMU lost 13,000 students.
Central Michigan's president, Dr. Neil McKinnon, referring to the period between 2010 and 2023, showing a decline in students. And he said while the situation isn't unique to CMU, it does have an impact. During his State of the University address this week, he also shared enrollment is improving, but not when it comes to international students.
Having said that, the last 3 years, you can see we've really plateaued around 14,000. A year ago, we had a small, modest growth. And this fall, for the second year in a row, we had growth when it came to domestic students and online students, but we were impacted by what's going on federally related to international students.
He said 670 international students wanted to join the university this fall, but couldn't get their visas in time. McKinnon hopes they can join the university in January, but says he isn't very optimistic. One thing he noted, 78% of the university's first-year students did return for the second year. An annual day of service for Northwood University kicks off tomorrow. Go Mad Day stands for Make a Difference Day. And students, faculty, and staff will ditch the classrooms and offices tomorrow for a full day of giving back. Hundreds of volunteers will take part in dozens of projects in Midland, Coleman, Shepherd, and Sanford. Go Mad Day was inspired by late football coach Pat Rietma, whose Go Mad mantra urged people to go and make a difference in the lives of others.
All right, the holiday season is here and Santa Claus is coming back to Midland. The Santa House will open again on December 2nd at 6 o'clock when Santa and Mrs. Claus travel from the Tridge to Main Street in that great parade. Now there, Santa will receive the keys to his house and will light the courthouse and Santa House. That'll happen around 6:30. The Santa House will be open every day through December 23rd. All right, let's check in with Matthew. It might be the holidays, but it's still feeling a lot more like fall today.
Yeah, definitely a nice fall day ahead of us here for today. Just increasing clouds, much lighter wind, some rain tomorrow morning. Then, of course, we're still tracking the rain and snow showers this weekend. That'll get started Saturday night. A very cold start to next week, down into the 30s, but we'll see those temps come back up to the 40s by the middle of next week.
All right, thank you so much for joining us live for this report this morning.
We'll see you back here for TV5 News at 9. Stay with us.